and people will join as they do. But as we're getting started, unless you're driving, feel free to join in closing your eyes as we invite this moment, as we invite the Holy Spirit into the here and now with us. So let's just begin by taking a couple breaths and bringing awareness and consciousness to the air that's passing through your system. And with each breath, returning to stillness and calmness. And we'll begin with I'm going to read something from Marianne Williamson's A Year of Miracles. And she says, "No matter what I think I do, the universe knows. No thought is unrecorded in the ethers of the universe. The law of cause and effect ensures that whatever I think will have an effect on some level. As a friend once said to me, the universe keeps a perfect set of books. Today, I seek right-minded thought, that only that which is right shall be returned to me. I surrender my mind to the Spirit of God, that my thoughts might be lifted to a higher place. May I forego blame and embracing God, forego fear and embrace love, forego violence and embrace peace. Thus I may become a co-creator with God. Today, I pray my mind become an instrument of love and a method of miracles. May my thoughts be guided by the thoughts of God and turned into a blessing for myself and for all the world." And take a couple more breaths in, allowing this flow of life to enter all parts of your body. Just bring your awareness to each breath, letting it circulate to all areas, to your fingertips, to the tips of your toes. And imagine a golden bright light from the space of your heart in your mind. And just notice this light wants to expand. And as it moves to covering other parts of your body, other parts of your mind, there's nothing you need to do. The expansion of light is being done. And your job is not to interfere. Our jobs are simply to let things be. And the light just expands. Wherever there's darkness, light reaches. And so in your mind's eye, allow this golden bright light to reach all corners of your consciousness. Any thought that's coming to you now, allow the light to touch. Every person, every situation, the past, the present, the future, this 3D world, the 5D world, earth, heaven, ocean, land, every plant, every animal, all things the light touches. And if you try to interfere, you are getting in the way of creation. But no matter what you do, you can only perceive getting in the way. The light expands no matter what. And so there's hope for all of us, for all humanity. Any errors that we might have done, any mistakes in our lives, anyone that we've ever hurt, we simply just have to step aside and let the light shine through. Peace of God is inside everything, in every event and everything. The moment that we don't perceive peace, we have edged God out. We have pushed God away. And let that be a reminder that this is our compass. Peace is our compass. That in any situation that arrives today, may we remember that when I don't have peace, it is my choice that I'm edging God out. And so from that space, we ask the Holy Spirit to join us, to be present on this call, to heal our hearts, to help us see with our spiritual eyes and not our physical eyes, to help us listen from love rather than conflict. And so it is. Aho, amen, thank you. And feel free whenever you're ready to open your eyes and join us here today. So, a good brother of mine, where is Nelson? I think I saw Nelson in here somewhere. He was here. Well, Nelson sent me a video by Wayne Dyer. And a distinction was made between being inspired and being informed. And I thought that was just so clever. What is said, what Wayne Dyer said was that inspired is in spirit. In spirit. Informed is in form, like in physical, in the 3D, in this world. And every time that we are informed, there's no consistency, right? If you think about anything you've ever learned, there's always another piece of information that says that it's opposite, that contradicts what you just learned. And it's really interesting. If we try to learn something from the physical form, nothing's ever consistent. And hence, this is what A Course in Miracles says the first law of chaos is that we are all informed with our own truths. We all grow up with different traumas and different experiences. So we bring information that comes from form, from the physical body. When we are, the Course is about returning, it's about remembering. But remembering and returning to what? When we were little embryos, the first 9 months of our coming into form, we are in water. We are in in our mother's womb. And there's no worries there. There's nothing. We're not looking at the sonogram and saying, "Oh my god, I'm missing my ears," or I hope my ears come and stress about that. Right? I don't have any limbs. We just we just are. And then we move towards what's supposed to be. And so the Tao Te Ching in Eastern philosophy, the Tao is the way or the road to. We're always on our way to perfection or to returning, regardless of what we want, regardless of our opinions of the matter. See, the embryo is growing into a baby with limbs or without, or with noses. Everyone got noses and ears, and we just grow into what we're supposed to be with zero interference from us. And there is peace. All energies, all things that are happening are simply what it is. And then we are born. And people tell us how things should be. And the moment that we are born is the moment that we begin to edge God out, ego. And the ego is this identification. We start to identify ourselves beginning with our name, beginning with our parents, beginning with whatever is being taught to us. And so, on the flip side, as a parent, as a friend, as a brother, as a sister, the consciousness comes from our projections, becoming conscious of what we are projecting, and is it spirit or is it form? Form leads to the ego. There is no escape from that. Unless we remind ourselves of before birth, when we were just sitting in this pool of peace in our mother's wombs. And so the moment we are born is the moment that we edge God out and the ego was created. So when I think about inspired now is being in spirit means I remember that there is another force at play here. That I am not doing life. Life is being done for or to me. An embryo grows into a baby, a seed plant grows into a flower. Zero requirement of your participation. And so the returning and the remembering is to remember that there is a season and a time for everything. There is a season and a time for everything. If we can just remember that itself, then the moment that we are struggling, the moment that we are stressed, the moment that we are exhausted, that we've lost our trust, that we've committed sin, and we've made a mistake, that there's simply a season for that. And we are on the Tao. We are on the way. It just doesn't look like it right now to us. When the embryo is turning into a baby, there's a season for no arms. There's a season for no face. And then there's a season for the arm and the fingers and all the things to come. And so our life is that. Our life is a collection of seasons and times. So whatever you are going through for you right now, whatever your relationships are going through, there is a time. And it is in perfect divine order. Now we can be inspired in our lives. And Wayne Dyer says that when you feel inspired, when you are in spirit, all the forms and all the the spirit and all the things that we can't see come to aid you to break the chain, to break limitations. Things that happen are miraculous, I guess we can say. Whether you're inspired in something that you're doing, truly doing, all the gods and forms and everything in this world begins to come to your aid. So inspired, being in spirit. And can we recognize that, or have we gone too far to not recognize spirit? And so this call, I've always had a mission, and I feel like at the core of my mission and what inspires me is to bring people closer to God and really just bring myself closer to God. And as I return and as I remember, everything that I do in my life is about extending and sharing with people, about bringing people with me on this journey, whether it's a Course in Miracles or if it's ceremonies or if it's real estate, bringing everybody with. So I'm inspired. And when I feel inspired, doors from all over open for me. Right? I'm in such a place of clarity and I see the path tangibly. Inform and inspire kind of comes together in one. And things are happening pretty effortlessly. And I get to just remember every day that all I'm doing is getting out the way. I'm getting out the way of the information that is being downloaded to me. I'm getting out of the way of the work. And things just open up and I'm truly in like I'm truly feeling like I'm just so blessed. So I'm sure that this call for the last 4 years, we've been running this for the last 4 years, has done something for me, has helped me remember and return, right? So Jessica, you shared the same thing earlier, that being on these calls, you had a flat tire. Previously, you would have freaked out and lost your shit. You found peace. And in peace is peace. In peace is God.
And I even tell you, I even gave the guy a $20 tip. That's how blessed I felt.
Yeah.
That he came whatever time he showed up.
All right. So, it's amazing because you chose to be there, right? You chose the reactions to even though, we may respond with anger and judgment and attack. The Course says that those who are truly awakened have no attack thoughts. Every smallest bit of attack thought, judgment on something removes God from your consciousness. And if that's the case, And if we want God with us in all things we do, then we have a practice every moment of our lives. Because the mind will chatter and the ego will say this person is this and that person is that, and he's not good enough, you're not good enough, you're stupid, you're smart. All judgments is a form of attack. And so when we attack, we choose to edge God out when we judge. And we can't escape it. There is no place in which you judge somebody else and you can escape and you can find peace. It just doesn't happen. See, we were in Florida 2 days ago. I get a phone call from one of my tenants, and she says, Unit 1, they had a big fight or something, and the lady came back and is stealing something from your apartment. Now, when I shared it to whoever I was with, I was at a Grant Cardone conference. I felt people's anxiety and judgments come. And I had a moment, a very, very brief moment in which I stressed a little bit. And I was like, whatever. What could possibly be in there that can't be replaced? Right. And when the information got to my wife, and this is natural response, right? It's like, okay, we're gonna call the cops and this and that, and we're gonna, if this person belongs back in jail, that's probably where they should go. Right. And now our tenants are freaking out. And we land yesterday, late at night. Or was it 2 days ago? I think it was two nights ago we got back. We land at 10 o'clock at night and we drive to that property and we go and see our tenant. Our tenant is literally there with 2 other people and they have baseball bats and they're like waiting for them to come back. I'm like, it's 2 women that came and took the TV out of the house. Like it's not that serious, right? So like we've created the one attack thought leads to another. One reaction response with anger and defense leads to another and another and another. So, I was like, all right, well, let's give them the benefit. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and we're going to give her a call. We're not going to call the police. We're not going to get her arrested. We found out that she moved like 6 houses up the street. And so she drives by the house. It's not like, our tenant thought she was casing the house and was going to come back and do something. So she was uncomfortable. And once all the facts were revealed and everybody was happy, we started to talk about real estate. Everybody was calm and chill. And that tenant decided, okay, we're going to extend longer. I'm like, okay, great. And everybody felt peace. Again, everyone returned to peace, but there was so much animosity. And think about if we all took it to the next level, if we responded with anger, that a mistake happens and we need to punish and we need to ensure we get them to jail. Right? Like what are some possible events that may happen after that? Because everyone's going to retaliate. And then we retaliate, and then they retaliate, and then we retaliate, and they retaliate. Isn't that the problem, the cycle of war in our world? And there is war in our relationships. Faux show. If we think about who do we have, who are we withholding love from, who are we holding grievances towards? We can all probably find somebody, even the smallest bit of grievance. We can find it. Right? And the work is to love and to forgive where in those places that is challenging. Our mothers, our fathers, the people that are closest to us, we feel the biggest betrayal. The most amount of ego is there. It's like we're kinder to strangers than the ones we love. or we're supposed to love, I guess. Okay, so that is the opening to this morning. Edging God out, letting things be. I would love to just open it up for anybody to share what's coming up and take us to another direction on this call where it's supposed to go. If anybody wants to share anything coming up this week, it's been a minute. It's been a week and a half since we had this call. I feel like I haven't done it in forever. Go ahead, Fraser.
It's interesting that we talk about, peace and all that. My flight here was an ordeal, but I was able to laugh, even though my luggage isn't here, even though I had to run across an airport to get my flight because one flight was late. And I just started laughing because I'm like, there's no reason to get upset about it. And it's, the previous me would have probably lost it, but because of this and because of everything that I've been doing, I just started to laugh. There's no reason to hold on to those little things I felt anymore. Like, it wasn't a big deal. It'll come eventually.
Yeah. And when we can sit back and just enjoy the chaos, enjoy the moment in which we probably would have flipped out, there are great things happening, right? Like, when things aren't going my way, I just kind of observe what's going on, and there's usually something comical that happens. And I think laughter, right? Laughter is the way to healing all traumas, all reactions. The Course says that, we became sick. The Son of God or the child of God became sick when we forgot to laugh. So laugh at more things, right? Laugh at ourselves for the patterns that we have, for the traumas that we have, rather than making it so serious and making it bigger. A merry heart is the best medicine. Yeah, and we have to give up. We have to give up our old stories, and because the Course says that our stories are really nothing. So when we give them up, but think about the people that, and ourselves too. The ideas and the limitations we hold on to, the wanting to be right about it, it's literally insanity. We know it's no good for us, but yet we still defend it like it is. Right? And we have an opportunity to break free from it all the time. So, yeah, anybody else? If you are live or if you have questions, if you want to put it in the chat, feel free to do so. Okay, well, let's see what Marianne has to say about our conversation here this morning. Okay, now I close it and I'm gonna open it. All right, so on faith, she would like us to reflect on faith. My heart beats, my lungs breathe, my ears hear, my hair grows, and I don't have to make them work. They just do. Planets revolve around the sun, seeds become flowers, embryos become babies, and with no help from me. Their movement is built into a natural system. I am an integral part of that system too. I can let my life be directed by the same force that makes flowers grow, or I can do it myself. To trust in the force that moves the universe is faith. Faith isn't blind, it's visionary. Faith is believing that the universe is on my side and that the universe knows what it's doing. Faith is a psychological awareness of an unfolding force for good, constantly at work in all dimensions. My attempt to direct this force only interferes with it. My willingness to relax into it allows it to work on my behalf. Without faith, I'm frantically trying to control what is not my business to control and fix what is not in my power to fix. What I'm trying to control is better off without me, and what I'm trying to fix can't be fixed by me anyway. Anyways, without faith, I'm wasting time. Wow, look at that. Of course, this is what we just read right now. Right? There's just like no accidents. Things are so connected. Trying to control what is not my business to control and fix what is not in my power to fix. What I'm trying to control is much better better off without me. What I'm trying to fix can't be fixed by me anyways. Without faith, I'm wasting time. She the mic drop. The mic drops from this book is out of control. Out of control. Okay, so then from that space, who wants to share anything that you want to be in control of, things you're trying to fix, people you're trying to fix, situations you're trying to control? What's frustrating everybody here today?
I'll make a little sure.
Sure.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice background.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know it's very beautiful. Good morning, everybody. So, my sure, and if you don't hear me because I threw these headphones in the washer and the dryer, so if it gets on and off, let me know.
Okay, they're working. They're working good.
Yeah, good. So what it is for me is I've been going through a process with my children. I have my battles of the system and school system, and I don't want them there, but I'm not prepared to have them out of school. So, but when something happens with them, I tell them we can do homeschooling. They're old enough to just me guide them and then doing the work at home when I'm working. And so it's being a battle back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Why do I have to fix? I have nothing to fix. I just it's an experience for both of us. I'm learning how to, navigate that. They know somehow they're scared know that school system is not aligned to them, but I keep telling them we gotta play the game. It's a game that we have to play if we want to be in this world, and just let's play the game. Let's go with the flow. But obviously, there's a lot of progression. School, especially middle school is terrible. And just to give a hope to Fraser, sorry about that, because he's been on already things with this little girl, and it's just like this. It's constantly like back and forth. I want to fix, but I have nothing to fix. I want to change things, but I have nothing to change. And then, but in my house, it's the battles like two people like in my back, especially my mother, right, who lives with us, to force them to go to school, to force them to be ready on time, to force them to, they have to feel well. And then she puts all this guilt on me that I have created the problem. And I'm like, just because I give them the free will to, like, we can do this or we cannot do this, and sometimes they want to show up, sometimes they don't want to show up. Sometimes they want to be there in school because for them the most important thing is the relationships. And then I say, yeah, of course, the relationships are, and they want to be the connection with their friends, and that's what I am, right? So it's the sometimes I want to control, but I know I can't, and I have to release. And sometimes I want to just shut my mouth and create a conflict with my mom because it's like she wants to program my kids as she programmed me. And then there's a conflict there as well. So then I tell her, please step one step back and just watch. But she doesn't. But she's there and then she feels entitlement to, do everything that she did with me or my brothers. So it's just this constantly like, and I lose my keys. And then I say, well, where's my faith? and I God loves my faith as well. So, and then yesterday, after I had a terrible Monday, yesterday I went through that space like I have to laugh. There's nothing else that I can do but laugh about all this, back and forth and is it right, whatever it is. It is what it is. And then for me, beautiful about the what you say in spirit because I have a beautiful chat where two beautiful beings are Nicole here. They are inspiration to me, and a bunch of you here are inspiration to me.
Mm.
So, and it's very grateful that I share that with you because it's this reality, like what is in form and what is in spirit, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
Awesome.
that's what I want to share. I've been dealing with this with the kids for the last 3 weeks. Speak a lot, but back to faith. So, faith and hope.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing. And you know, a lot of sharings that happen on this call, it's a great space to share because when you can share something, when you can actually just get something out and without judgment, without feeling like you're being judged, right? Like it's actually very healing when we can actually hear ourselves articulate an idea out. Because sometimes when they're just running in our minds, they kind of take a course on its own, right? And then when we speak them out, it's a great place to heal because everyone else is also listening. 21 other people here, maybe hundreds of other people are listening right now, but everybody is interpreting their own thing. So we never have to really worry about what we're saying or what we're doing because everyone has different interpretations and we interpret them from a place of our own stories, right? Our own perceptions, our own uh, ideas about what is right, what is wrong. And so when the come from in which we share, like the openness, the genuineness, the authenticity in which we share is what will actually be felt, not the words. You know, we go beyond words. It's that like passion. A lot of times, like, when I went and listened to Ed Milet speak, I can't really remember any of the stories. I can't remember what was great, but I'm like, wow, he was just great. I go, what did he talk about? What was his speech? I don't really know, but he was great. Because in spirit, when we are connected, like when we connect from a place of like, I'm bringing out my passion, everyone can feel it. And the course actually says there's the the enlightened one, those that are awake walk around with no judgments and no attacks. And we all know there's moments in our life where we just feel we experience it before. We just feel so at peace, like all things are good the way it is. We have faith in that moment. And things just happen. It's like, wow, look, like a bird lands on your shoulders, like some like miraculous thing just happens. It's like, wow, how did that just even happen? Like one really distinct moment that's in my mind right now is a couple months ago, I was in upstate New York. I was like facilitating. What is it called when you marry somebody? Anyways, I married somebody. And well, not me marrying. Okay. Anyways, I officiated. Okay. And there was so much, I was so connected and so in tuned. And even while I was driving, a eagle came and grabbed the squirrel from the ground in front of me and flew right in front of my windshield. And the thing is massive. It was like slow motion, but like that happening, even though, yeah, a squirrel, like, wow, oh my God, it's so horrible. But it was so like, wow, like what a wow moment, because animals are in tuned. They are in spirit. They're actually spirit animals. Right? They're not walking around with carrying all the judgments and stuff. They just do as they do. And so I was just so wowed by that moment. Like, this eagle is literally probably bigger or the size of the entire windshield. And it just went like boom, right over the car. Like, I thought I was gonna hit it. And like in that moment, I was like, oh my God, I gotta call somebody, I gotta share this. Right? When we're excited, when we're inspired, what do we want to do? We want to share. The difference between informed and inspired is inspired, in spirit, I want to share. Informed, there are moments where we're like, ooh, let me keep this information. Right? The more informed I am, the more I can elevate myself and move myself forward. Now, of course, we could be informed and inspired at the same time. But in spirit, when those things happen in our life, we just want to call and share it with somebody. Why is it natural that when something amazing happens, we want to share it? Why is it natural that when we watch a movie and it's so good, we want to share it? Because it is natural for spirit to expand. And from that space, we can look at what we do, everything we do in our life. Do we want to share it or do we want to keep it? If we want to keep it, it is probably in form. If we want to share it, it is probably in spirit. So let that be a gauge for us today, right? If we make life that simple, if we have peace, God is with us. If we don't have peace, God is not with us. Not that God isn't with us, but we are not with God, actually. Right? And then if we want to share it, we are in spirit. If we want to hold it, we are not in spirit. We're not inspired. Now we've actually made inspiration tangible in our life. They're like, what does it mean? Everyone's asking, what does it mean to be inspired? What's it mean to be inspired? I feel inspired when I want to share with people. Those are moments where I feel inspired. I'm inspired right now. Okay, cool. Fraser, you had your hand up?
Yeah, so the school thing, totally understand where Claudia's coming from. Still going through some stuff with my daughter's school. I tend to try to be a little more open and understanding, and my ex, not so much. She is posting stuff on Facebook. She's blowing it out of the water. She's very angry right now, and I'm always trying to be just let her be who she's going to be, because she's like a whirling dervish. If you try to change her, there's no talking to her when she's in this kind of mood. And she's quite upset because of what's been happening. They didn't inform us of a program, they called it, and basically our daughter performed at the school, and she cried because she missed it. We didn't get any information on it, and I was actually in town on the day that it happened, and I missed it too. I was upset that I missed it because it was her first performance, but at the same time, I tried to not let it affect me, and I can see how I've been growing and changing, and I can see how I can see where she's coming from, but at the same time, it's like, do we need to overreact? Do we need to post these dramatic situations on Facebook and make this even more bigger than it really needs to be? And she's even talking about going to the news, and now she's put me into the whole situation. It's like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I feel her frustration, but I feel like there's just a better way to communicate that frustration. And I just don't know how to get her to see that.
Aha. There it is. You want to control and fix something.
Yeah. So I need to not do that. Let her be who she's going to be.
Yeah. It's great. Like we're all still silly because we think that our loss of peace comes from somebody else, right? It's like, well, if she, and it's always a person. If she just does this, if she can just not respond with all this craziness, then we would be good, right? I mean, we literally just we do this all day. We take our own shit and we blame it on somebody else. But if you didn't have a judgment around it, if it was neutral, then you would just be like, yeah, sure, let's go. Well, I'll take you to the news. Take you to the news center. Let's go. But and you just bring peace with it wherever you go. Now, if you go against it and you're like, you're crazy, you should believe this, you should do a course of miracles, you should hop onto this call. Now you're trying to control and fix something, and it only entrenches people deeper into their place. What do people need? What are people looking for? Right? Why is she going out and why is she posting? People need support from others. Right? And we do it in a way that is manipulative and with anger, but at the end of the day, what is she looking for? It's a call for love. That means you bring love. Hello, I'm here. Love is here. Right? Whatever she's going through. Now you don't have to judge it, but the second you judge it, you make her feel bad and wrong. Now, see, we respond with people's call for love with attack. It's crazy. Right? So this whole thing on faith is today, the theme is just around there's nothing, I don't control anything. What I try to control, I make worse. What I tried to fix, I make worse. I can't control it and I can't fix it. Herein lies the peace of God. Here is faith. And without faith, you're just wasting time. So, yeah, great example, great share. And again, in these shares, the greatest lessons come because it's like, whoa, I thought it was my wife or my ex, but it was just me. And when you share what you were sharing, a thought that came to my mind was a memory of when I missed basketball practice on a Saturday. No, it was a basketball game. So you practice throughout the week. Then you have a basketball game on Saturday. This is like in middle school. And that was the biggest thing in the world to me, playing basketball. Because it was once a week. It was Saturday. We had a time. You either played at 8, 9, 10, or 11 o'clock. And I remember missing a game and I flipped out like the world came to an end. We're always just doing that. We're flipping out with the most ridiculous things. And if we had God's perspective, we would just laugh at the fact that we flipped out. And then it'd be over. We wouldn't hold any trauma. We wouldn't hold any grievance against anybody. So yeah, let's respond with call for loves, with love, with compassion, with understanding, with support. Good share, Fraser. You always got great shares. Nagar, go ahead. Hello.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Hello. You mentioned eagles.
Eagles.
So yes, so I don't know how many of you have heard this story about crow and the eagle.
Hmm.
It's very short, few lines. I'm going to read it to you. It's
So,
better to read than explain. So
maybe,
it
but
really
sure.
relates to what we're talking about, and interesting that you mentioned the eagle, which I'm so fascinated about them. So it says that the only bird that dares to peck an eagle is the crow. It sits on its back and bites the eagle's neck. However, the eagle does not
respond nor fight with the crow. It spends no time on the crow. Instead, the eagle opens its wings and soars higher and higher to the heavens. The higher the flight, the tougher it is for the crow to breathe. Then the crow fails down from the lack of energy. So basically, it's saying that, instead of showing any reaction or spending energy on the crow, it soars higher and higher until the crow, falls down because of lack of energy. So whenever I get angry or frustrated, I think of this image and this story, which I think is true. I believe it's a true uh, story. And then I'm like, okay, you just like the eagle, show no reaction, spend no energy, just soar and soar higher and higher until that person that is frustrating me, you know, gets tired and falls down effortlessly. No worry. So I thought I'd share that.
Yeah, well, apparently Google says, and there are pictures, that crows literally follow eagles around. And while the eagles are hunting, the crows just hover over them and actually jump on their backs. And there are videos.
Yes.
So they're trying to steal the food. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I guess
My
it's true.
daughter is a painter. So just yesterday, I sent her this picture with the crow on the eagle's back. And I said, would you please paint this for me? And she said, okay.
Awesome, awesome. Look at that. We're talking about the eagle.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that share. Who else was about to share something? Was Nelson about to share something? Where are you at, Nelson? Nelson. Okay. Well, let's see. Wow, a lot of
Well,
readings.
Alex, I just want to share one more thing because peace is always what it seems like. It always seems like I'm chasing it. And last night, I proved to myself when I first. If anybody knows me, they know I'm a hardcore New Yorker. I'm not into the bougie stuff. And when I first started hearing in the rooms that you choose peace, and the same way you choose energy, I'm like, what a crock of shit. Peace is because I feel peace ripped out of my chest. I used to feel peace just ripped out of my chest when shit would happen, and things would blow up. Last night, I know for a fact that I chose peace because last night, at first, I was like, I was cold, I was tired, it was so freaking late. I'm like, I can't believe I was 5 minutes from my house and all this happened and everything. And then I actually flipped the switch and I said, well, it was cold. I had my Giants jacket on, so I was warm. I had gas in the car. I had two phones. One of them I know was about to die. The one that was on the phone call with you, but I had the one that I was talking to AAA with. I still had battery, and it lasted all the way to the bitter end. And as I'm hungry, I had a really big lunch, and I had leftovers, which I was going to give to Luis, and I forgot to give it to him. So I actually had my leftovers from lunch. So I had like steak and rice and stuff and everything. And I always keep a bottle of water here. And then everything that I thought was like so wrong and everything, I was like, well, listen, I'm so grateful for this. Like, I never ran out of gas, even though I was 40 miles to empty. And so it's still, everything always worked out. And so I chose peace because, what usually, not what I thought I guess what I was choosing before was chaos because I didn't know that that was actually an option to me. And it was an option, and you can do it. And it just takes practice. It's a muscle. And that muscle gets worked out in this gym right here, ACIM. I'm complete.
Yeah, thank you. It's true. And now you've planted an anchor, right, of this moment that you were able to interrupt and choose peace. That story itself will help you, will extend and build more of that story. And as you share it, others will also learn from it, because we are all connected like that. And that's why the the invitation on these calls is to share these experiences and share where you're at so that we can illuminate blind spots. We all got blind spots. So yeah, thank you for sharing that story. Like all the stories shared today, all the things shared today has been, and always actually, are really great. Nagard, do you still have your hand up? You have shared something else, or it's just been up?
Oh, no, no, I will write it down. So.
Okay, cool. What else? Where are we? Wow, we still got time. Hmm. All right, there is something else I wanted to share from the course. So, for those of you guys that don't know what we're doing here, this is a course in miracles. Here you go. Inspiration of my life. And it actually, I guess it's not that the course, this book, inspires me. I guess we can say that from what it teaches and its guidance, I'm inspired by life. It opens a channel or a door for me to look at everything else that's going on from a different light. What was I looking for? We all like, there are certain people that I've met, they're just so at peace, and you can see whether they're, and a lot of times they're in like, Peru and in temples, priests, you know, th- the connection to faith has us walk around and being at peace with all things. And there's just, it's just miracles around these people, and you feel a sense of safety, and you feel a sense of, um I guess, like a safe space, right?
Like home.
Yeah, like home, like we're all returning, like we're going somewhere. And there are people that just exude that energy. They have like a smile on their face that you just like, there's something about you that is so kind. Every single person is capable of that and recognizes that. See, there's a truth in that. There's a truth in letting go of judgments. There's truth in being inspired, being in spirit. And a lot of times when people are in spirit, there's a lot of fire and passion behind it too. There's clarity. And then at the same time, there's like a sense of calmness. I can't think of somebody off the top of my head right now, but I know I met those people. I know in Peru I've met a lot. And they aren't some special person. Like there are literally like mamitas on the side of the road just selling fruits or selling, little trinkets. And I'm like, wow, why do I feel she seems so knowledged? And they're just like, they're happy with if you buy or if you don't. And then there are the ones that just really try to sell you, like selling from desperation. Um, yeah, we can feel those energies. And if we study and we look at, quantum physics too, and I mentioned this a lot because quantum physics, when you try to understand like how we're built down to the cellular level, it just keeps breaking down and down and down. And we just feel there's just more and more space between one particle to another particle. What is that space that's holding it all together? You know, when when we look at science deep enough, we find spirit. So my wife and I used to have a lot of arguments over that right there, of the body, sickness in the body. And we would just go back and forth. She's like, well, you never had it, so you don't know. And, we're always looking for something to cure a sickness. But there are also studies where if you think something, it actually changes the way your cells behave. Right? There are miracles. And it comes from a place of when we truly surrender and just accept what is. But when we try to combat and fight something, when we try to overcome fear, when we try to overcome sickness, what it does is it makes it more real and it grows and we become informed of it. And then we try to inform ourselves with other physical things the Course calls magic to heal ourselves. Now, ultimately, where that heals comes from us having a thought and believe is, I think they call it what, the placebo effect. When you believe something is going to heal you, it actually gets this healing characteristic, I guess. We believe something is going to heal us and it actually heals us. And then we say, oh, it's the medicine that healed. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm on the belief that you can think it. And if you believe it, it changes the way your cells behave and respond to things. And that's faith, actually, also. Allowing it to be in spirit. And there is only spirit or there's not. So right now, I know I'm kind of probably projecting an idea or a thought from myself. Actually, I definitely am. But take it and hear it as you will. Right? So, okay, Claudia, go ahead. There's no agreeing or disagreeing with it. It's just, there it is.
Yes. And thank you, Alex, for that little nugget in there. As my experience has been that you just project. Because the truth is, I had, there's a lot of things, like, for example, 2003, I was diagnosed with a tumor in my pituitary gland. They were about to give me a surgery through my nose, touching my pituitary gland, blah, blah, blah. And I did all the testing, I did all everything that I needed to do. But the truth is, I didn't believe it.
Hmm.
So I went to Venezuela, my original country, my home birth country. And I did a second opinion, as we have a lot of colleagues and people that we know there. And they told me, no, you don't have a tumor, you have an inflammation of the posterior part of the pituitary gland because something that you're taking. Why are you taking? And when I share with them, it's like, exactly. You're not supposed to, um, value stuff. And I was thinking value another time because it was a lot of stress, a lot of like migraines and tension in my neck. And my boss at the time, a dentist, was giving me the Valium prescription for the Valium. He told me you need to stop the Valium because that's what does create that. And then that was creating my breast was discharging milk, and I was not pregnant. So all these things, right? All these things were like present, but I still didn't believe it. So when I went to Venezuela, they told me to stop that. And what really you have is your magnesium is really low. So you have to take magnesium as a supplement. And that stopped. Fast forward, many things was told when I was going through my in vitros, having my babies. And one of the first practice that I went, that I did 6 in vitros with them, and one took, but I lost that baby at 22 weeks. That doctor, the main owner, told me that I had a problem in my uterus. That's why I couldn't get pregnant. And then it comes another doctor on the 5th try, and that doctor, that very beautiful doctor, very, very mindful, very sweet. He got me pregnant. So this doctor, his ego went fuck, and he needed to get me pregnant because at this point I was a challenge for him. And I saw the game of the ego, right? I saw the game, and I kept telling my ex-husband, by the time my husband, right? I want to leave this practice. Like, we're already paying 16 liters, we're doing all here, and I'm like, I don't give a frick about the money. I want to get out of here. My emotions and the roller coaster of all this, putting all this medicine in my body, everything is like so like I'm losing my everything. I'm losing everything here. And he tells me, well, we have to stay. But I, in my own, I went to do my second opinion. And then that doctor told me, listen, I heard that you have gone through a lot, but if I told you stop right now, you might. And that's when it wasn't my fifth in vitro, and I got pregnant. I went far to 22 weeks pregnant, and I lost that baby. Okay, it was another roller coaster, emotional and everything. And then now what? So in that time, they find out that I have something and like a blood clotting disorder. And that blood clotting disorder is what it wasn't allowing me to proceed. So now it's not only that I cannot get pregnant from my husband in a normal, natural way, but now I have a challenge as well with a blood clotting disorder. Okay. Then I got to the six in vitro with that doctor and didn't get pregnant. He called me for the seventh in vitro and said, you know what? Even if you give me everything for free, I would never come back to you. So thank you for the offer, but I wasn't mean or anything. I just say thank you for no thank you. And I moved to the other practice. And when I moved to the other practice, this doctor told me, you've been going through a lot. I will hold your hand the whole time. So it was the faith, the hope, the kindness, the call for love that I was receiving there, that it calmed everything down. And with my 7 and my 8 in vitro, I have my 2 children. Fast forward with my second child, with Mateo, my son, at my 19th week, I was leaking my amniotic fluid. That was the same thing that happened with the baby that I lost before. And then what the doctors were telling me, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do that. I say, no, listen to me. This is what I would love you to do to me. And I'm not gonna love to you. This is not gonna go to the next level. If something happens, I'm fully accountable for responsible of this. But you only watch me that I don't get infected, and then we're gonna be here, and with faith, we're gonna move through this. And they listened to me. It was 8 weeks in the hospital without moving out of the bed for 8 weeks. And in those 8 weeks, my sac healed. It closed the leaking that was happening, and I was able to proceed with my pregnancy all the way to a full term. I had to do everything. I had to do x-rays, everything. Again, like you said, I don't believe what they tell me. I just go with my faith and my hope. And then the last time that I was going through this was my daughter was born. She was like around 3. She started having like episodes of asthma. And then I started having episodes like asthma. And I was like, what is this? And I went to an allergist and told me the same thing. Oh, now people develop asthma, blah, blah, blah. I didn't believe. So I did my research. I took my daughter in a diet. I took myself in a diet. I removed things from the house. I did treatment for me. I did some oil things, and boom, nothing. I had stories because I worked in the medical field for my whole life that it is like, now I have friends that have been reverse vitiligo, that is like the part that you lose the skin color. That sometimes is bacterial. This woman has reversed that. I have other ones with MS, reversing MS. I have others being told that they will have this and that and that. And everybody, cancer, like stage 4 cancer, we have beautiful sister that 23 years ago, 20 years ago, they told her, you're going to die in a year. I have people that have tell them, if you do all your treatments, you're going to live a year. If you don't do anything, you're going to live 6 months. So they were taking the risk to live 6 months and change all their life. This is 20 years later, they're still alive. So all these things that you say is just about like why we tell our bodies and how we're here and what is our purpose for all this, right? This is my experience. What is my purpose to receive this information and what I do with the information?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to share that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that share. And Barbara will get to you in a second. There is, and welcome, Adam. Welcome, brother. There is a place, when we talked about, and this goes full circle back to our original conversation, which is, in form versus in spirit, right? Inspired as being in spirit, informed as being in body. In body, there are no consistent answers. Sometimes you can have cancer and then you can heal it. Other times you can have cancer and then you die. Other times chemo saves somebody and other times it doesn't. Right? It doesn't matter what we do. At the end of the day, it's all about returning back home. It's all about returning back to that place. So there is no need to even debate all this stuff. This is what I was getting at in the conversation with my wife. We used to debate it all the time. Now I just laugh, and I'm not laughing at her. See, that actually turned into an attack at first too. See, she thought I was laughing at her, like, like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, like that, like as an attack. But I'm actually laughing at myself because I came to a realization that, wow, here I am doing a Course in Miracles call for 4 years and talking about peace, and I'm at war and at conflict right here in front of me at home. So I started laughing at that, and then now we're on the same page, and I laugh at it, and she laughs at me, and now it's comical, and there's no more attack, right? We've healed. There's a healing that happens, but the Course says that we can't actually come to a place of healing if we don't have peace. And peace and fear do not reside in the same space. And that's what we get to look at. When we are in a place of fear, telling what to do, trying to fix or control, somebody comes and tries to do that, it does not help the situation. What it does, if you're in a place of fear and I come and now try to rescue you, I'm basically agreeing with you that fear exists right now, that I'm validating what you're experiencing, that what isn't real is real. Now I get to come from a space of compassion and here, come join, step out of it, right? Like it's okay that you experience it, and it's okay that to let go of it, right? Being that safe, compassionate space, responding with a call for love, with unconditional love. Unconditional love means patience. Unconditional love means compassion and understanding. So we can look at our lives and right in front of us with our family members, with the people that are closest to us, look at and practice this responding with love. And so that's kind of where I was getting at with the whole thing with my wife and I. Okay, Barbara, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, I'm in my sauna blanket, so but I this topic is really interesting because I've been going from informed to inspired recently, and so usually what I do in 1 month of production and sales with what I do in business, I did it in 1 week, just this past week, because of that. Because I can be informative, but I'm coming from such a different place, and this whole time I've been doing this, I've never done, in 1 week what I do in a month. So the fact that I'm coming from such a different place, because that passion, inspiration, and just excitement, and it's just all flowing in a way that I'm connecting with my clients at a whole different level. And I feel that shift, and it's just really exciting, really cool. I've found also my business partner that I've been looking for the last year and a half, finally. And like everything's just kind of coming together in such a cool way because of that, like coming from that space of inspiration versus information. And these calls have just been huge on just making these little shifts mentally, emotionally, and all of that, and helping me like, move towards that direction, because, we have to stay plugged into this type of thing because it really helps us shift our mindset on so many things. And so I'm grateful for the calls back because I was missing them after being gone for a while. So yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And when that happens, like when people are doing really, really great, like killing it in sales, killing it in business, most of the times what people ask and what we look towards is, what are we doing? Right? What did you do? What is your routine? What are you saying on the phone calls? What is your pitch? But it isn't really so much that, but as in, how were you doing it? How did you bring, like, what was the way of being? What else is happening in your life that also like spilled out into your business? Like, that is the question. How was it done? Like, how did you come? How did you show up? Not the actually steps most of the times, right? Because we can't really explain some of the connections that we make. There must have been some sort of divine intervention, right? How did my somebody doing a loan with me become such a good friend? I've done it with so many people, done loans everywhere. Why did this relationship go so far and so deep? Okay, how is my partner's last name? Gador. God you are. Godur. How did I call that into my space? Right? It's gotta be divine. Right? We are in this divine dance all the time. All right. Who else wanted to share something? Steve, you keep popping on and off. What's up? Did you want to say something? It's so great. You're muted. Just reading your lips.
Yes, sorry about that. I tend to do that a lot these days. Anyways, I just had the video off and then I had it on and then I had it off and then I had it on. But I didn't have anything in particular I wanted to say. I just really enjoyed the value out of this and every lesson. I just I just felt also like for me to be able to see the faces that I'm seeing speaking the stories they're speaking, it felt right for me to let my face be seen, even if I didn't have anything to say, though. Yeah.
I like that.
But yeah, I mean, since I'm on, I can share something.
Go for it.
The 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 statement of inspiration, like doing something for inspiration versus being informed, or like being inspired versus being informed, and like inspire the breakdown of like in spirit, like that just made a total like big shift for me happen. Because personally, the last several weeks I've been operating in information, like, so yeah, I definitely felt that hit me to my core. Being a person who's looking for as much inspiration as possible so I can create what I'm trying to create with my music, when I write. So yeah.
Love it, love it.
Yeah, I guess I'm complete. I don't know if I was supposed to share. Like,
no, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Good share, and appreciate every time you're here. You have good energy.
Thank you. See, like, I got the mic set up there. I'm going for it. So yeah, thank you.
All right, I love it. Can't wait to hear some things.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, I guess, for you from Marianne. On reflection on what's possible for you now. On the mortal plane, none of us are perfect all the time. But on the spiritual plane, all of us are perfect all the time. Who we really are, perfect creations of God, unchangeable and unlimited, None of us more or less brilliant than anyone else is the most positive self-concept possible. To identify yourself according to your spirit rather than material reality is enlightenment. From this perspective, you see that you are the light. No thought, no condition of darkness, that is, lack of love in your own mind or in anyone else's, has any bearing whatsoever on the truth of who you are or what the universe has planned for you. Your past, your mistakes, other people's opinions about you, even your failures, do not in any way limit who you are or what is possible for you now. And in one of my Instagram reels that Mona, my editor, put together for me, there was a video actually that was talking about how nothing in the past has anything or any bearing on this moment. That there is nothing in the past that you can draw from that really justifies how you should respond in this moment. And the Course also says the same thing. The Course says that this moment stands alone by itself. And you get to choose and, I guess, surrender into. Every moment is a possibility for you to surrender into what is. Things are always shifting and moving towards perfection. And so this moment, anything we hold on to in the past is us getting in the way. Can we just be in a ever so graceful dance with the universe? And that's bringing awareness and consciousness into this moment is this moment. And what is possible now, what was possible then, and what is possible now, like we can remove our own egos. It's that identification of the body. And the Course says every idea you have about yourself is an idea to be let go of. All ideas you have of other people are ideas to be let go of. Can you see Fraser? Can you see Alex as a new possibility here and now? Can you see your mom? Can you see your sister? Can you see your brother as new moment, new possibilities? And that is what the Course calls forgiveness. It's not for them. It's for you. All right. And so we got another about 3 or 4 minutes here. Anybody else would like to share anything or close out this call?
I'd just like to say to Steve, I miss you, brother. I love you.
All right, man. Seen, felt, heard. I'm here. Likewise, brother.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see everybody on the call. Good to see. I see you, Deborah, buddy. And I see everybody else. See Claudia. See Eric. Hey, what's up, brother? Claudia, good to see you. Good to see a lot of good people on the call here, which is every single person on the call always, all the time.
Yeah.
So I love the energy in this call every time. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you everybody that is listening, participating, bringing your gifts of just your being to this call. Like, even if you're just watching on social media, if you're just watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, your energy and your presence is here with us. And this is a space of it's like the golden bright light starts right here, and it starts to just shine outwards as we all go out and do our things. As Fraser goes and engages his ex-wife, or you know, like how you're gonna bring peace over there, and Jessica with bringing it to AAA and everything, right? All of us are going out there today to extend this light. Let it be something that is natural. Just feel the natural the natural light that wants to exude from you. You know, where it is that you want to share. Yes. Hi.
Hi, if I might add, actually, as you know, I have a big thing about this being live everywhere, but I will go against that and share that this year, maybe for the first time, I just not only realized, but allowed myself to grieve, you
Hmm.
know. And thank you, Claudia, for allowing that space. Um, I just got back from my home country and I realized it's really like a process. And my dad, it's 7 years ago, he passed. And I just now realize it's the whole, dynamic and reality of family also change when a member passes, right? And I was a busy mom at the moment. I never took the time to grieve.
Hmm.
So, so important to do. And that's it. Thank you, Claudia, for taking us from behind and doing that. So, I guess also just to invite others to face that it is not easy, but it's worth it.
Hmm.
And then I will get to decide to remember him with joy, right? But you have to go through the process. So that has been maybe one of the biggest, I don't know, um, goals or tasks that I got to achieve this year. And I'm proud of it. And it still hurts. Maybe it will hurt, I don't know if for a lifetime, but yeah, just to realize that the family that I remember is no longer the same.
Hmm.
So yeah, tough, but needed to be felt and to be lived, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to share.
Well, sending you lots of love.
Thank you. I
Hmm.
know. Thanks.
Yeah. And so, you know, nothing that comes up on this call happens by accident. We can take all of it and we can go out and be more compassionate, be more loving, sending more prayers, more love, more kind thoughts out to everyone, you know, and yeah, just hearts. That's it. Hearts all over the world. All right, Deborah, take us out. Tell us, share. But you got to unmute. There you go.
Okay. So 2 weeks ago was the last time I was on this call. I was looking for you last Wednesday. But I was a little lost, but no, I was not. And I shared about stepsons. I have two of those. One's literally a redheaded stepchild to me. Before the end of the call, I proudly was multitasking and reached out to both step kiddos and with inspiration and not all the information that I try and tell myself, right? We can self-inform and all that egotistical stuff. And reached out neutrally and in love and received responses in love. And I am a hopeful being. I spoke with hubby about that last night. I'm so hopeful, and I always, match my toe or bang my face on something, be in the wrong place, hopeful, trying to control that. But they're his sons, and I wish to embrace, as I embrace everybody in here, this group that I know, you're all my tribe, my family, my brothers, sisters, children, equals, love, and there's no reason why I would withhold that from those two guys.
Yeah.
In a sense that it's a different space. Some of the things we talk about in here, if I talk to them or when I have talked to them about it, they look at me like I have 3 heads and worship chickens, but that's okay. I am who I am and in the space I am. So as I fill my heart more fully with love, and I reached out to those 2 young men, I received connection and love back, and that I know was things I for sure needed to let go and will continue to let go. Because as I tell people, in this world we overthink things. Stop overthinking. Jessica heard me say that in a thing we did together. Stop overthinking. And just be present. And I get to heed my own bit of advice and let down those walls for myself. So thank you. That's
Awesome.
what I want to say.
All right. Well, that was a great share. Great, continuum from the last time we chatted. Okay. So there it is. There is how miracles happen. And we go out and be miracle workers, y'all, and shine your light and shine and let the light shine through. All right. So have a great one, everybody. Much blessings to everyone, and I'll see you guys. Oh, and Merry Christmas and all that stuff. Maybe we'll still do one, probably still do one Sunday, just to be in the spirit of the holidays. So we'll do that for sure this Sunday. Much blessings to everybody. Talk soon, y'all.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.